morning, listeners, friends all over the world. I remain my humble self, Mr. Abe Anayo Emmanuel. And this morning, I want to talk about, priority. So what is priority? Priority is defined as an order or a sequence in which a task is being addressed or completed based on its level of interest. I repeat, priority is defined as an order or a sequence in which a task is being addressed or completed based on its level of interest. And this morning, I went through some statistics in Nigeria to look at most of the primary cause or what could be the reason for the economic hardship in Nigeria and all that. And I look into it deeply and now see, that most of the cause of the financial crisis in our country, we are actually majorly the primary cause of it based on lack of priorities. Now, for example, in Nigeria, we have 41 universities, at least federal universities. We have 54 state universities, and we have 148 private universities, which is about 173 universities in Nigeria. And when it comes to polytechnic, we have 41 polytechnics, 54 state polytechnics, that is 41 federal polytechnics, and then 54 state polytechnics, and we have 84 private polytechnics. This is giving us about 179 polytechnics in Nigeria. And then when it comes to our College of Education, we have 21 Federal College of Education. We have 54 State College of Education, and we have about 82 private College of Education, which is giving us about 163 College of Educations in Nigeria. Now let's now sum it up together. We have 273 universities in Nigeria. We have 179 polytechnics in Nigeria, and we have about 163 College of Education in Nigeria. This is giving about 615 tertiary institutions in Nigeria. 615 tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Can you imagine that? 615 tertiary institutions. These are only accredited tertiary institutions, not the other ones. They have the ones that are not eligible. Recently, they listed some universities that are being scraped out of the institutions, universities in Nigeria, and some other colleges too, and polytechnics. So currently, we are having about 615 accredited tertiary institutions in Nigeria. And unfortunately, do you know what? Or should I say fortunately enough, each of these institutions in Nigeria graduates not less than 500 students every blessed year. Calculate it. They graduate not less than 500 students every blessed year. Each of these institutions. We're talking about the faculties and all of that. We're talking about each of these universities or institutions, they graduate not less than 500 students every blessed year. Now multiply 500 students times 615. It gives you 307,500 graduates every blessed year. Now the question now is, since Buhari's administration, or Tinubu's administration, how many companies has actually come into Nigeria? And then how many companies have actually left Nigeria? It's a question that is up to you. Give yourself an answer. How many companies since Tinubu's administration has actually come into Nigeria? And then how many companies since Tinubu's administration have actually left Nigeria? And then how many companies have Tinubu's administration established in this country? How many companies have they built in Nigeria? Have you seen the problem now? So we are producing 307,500 liabilities to the economy in this country every year. The country have no production. The level of production in this country is almost on 0%. So we are producing 307,500 liabilities. Liabilities are people who are coming to depend on the economy even when there's no source through the economy can actually grow. And that's why when I talk about priority is that our parents have to think very well. As a health consultant or as a nutritionist I am, out of 100% of clients I've attended to this year, 80% of them is having the issue of high blood pressure. And why can't you have high blood pressure? Is it not recently that LLC went on strike, right? Because of minimum wage issues. Now the question is, a man that's earning 150,000 salary or 200,000 salary and have 5 children, maybe 3 are in universities and 2 are in polytechnics. How much are their school fees? And how many months do this man need to work to be able to pay for these children's school fees? And unfortunately, these are investments on liabilities because they will come out of school and there's no job for them because the government are not building companies. So these individuals are coming out as liabilities. You know, I'm a guy that I love education very well. But I always tell people, not as me that went to school are educated, and not as me that are educated actually went to school. You know, there's one thing beautiful about a place called Osun State. I'm actually currently in Osun State. And I saw that the level at which they're investing in skill acquisition is very wonderful. And of course, it reduces the rate of crime. This is one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria based on my personal experience. So what I mean by that is that if our parents can use all the money they used to invest in their children going to school and coming out as a liability, I think they can actually, it is more better off for them to invest more on them learning skills. They can actually learn a skill, and after learning a skill, they can establish themselves and see how time to go to school and be self-dependent instead of them depending on their parents for their provisions. And as a parent, the worst experience is seeing your child that you invested 4 years in school coming out and then staying within the house and you're still the one feeding him or her. Is the worst experience as a parent. The dream of every parent is to send their children to school. When they come out, they should be able to be proud of them. And why? Because they know that the children can be able to provide for them. But unfortunately today, because of the condition of the country, because of the economic situation as some mispriorities, most people come out of school and become a liability to the economy of the country and to their parents as well. And that's why we have to place our priorities right. We have to understand that it was not a too far program. Investing in school is good, but not to the current condition of the country. What the essence of you struggling and taking your children to school? You are struggling every day and night, toiling day and night, no investment, you work for the 6 years and get retired, no pension, no retirement plan, nothing, no medical bills and all of that. And then you retire, get frustrated and go back to village. And the children which you sponsor for after all the struggles and they still come out as liabilities is a worse experience. And as a parent, this video is actually for you. If after your child go to secondary school and come, tell recently those of them that have finished while just came out of school, you can actually enable them to learn skills, either fashion design, either auto mechanic, anyhow at all. that can enable them to actually be able to depend on themselves. You can actually take care of yourself as a parent. That is how to build a child. That's why American is growing. That's why American economy is better than us. When a child plays football very well, they take the child to the football academy. So the work of the federal government is to establish those academies, because they know that your child can, they will train the child very well and sponsor the child. But the governments of this Nigeria don't even know that you exist. And that's why what about priority is to now sit down to, work on most of those things. Are we following at all? It is very important. You take your child to school, to secondary school. When they come out of school, let them learn the skill. They can actually, even with the result they're earning from the skill they have learned, they can actually use to sponsor themselves in schools. And why are we talking about, or even talking about the crime that are going on in schools? How many of it? I don't understand. You see, I have actually been in some institutions and I look at very well, look deeply, and I see that any child, any son or daughter that you send to tertiary institution is coming out as a different person, no longer the person you went sent to school to. Most of them lose their career, most of them lose their destiny because of some acts, immorality, and some kind of unhealthy activities that they engage themselves in the tertiary institutions. And that's why it is a mispriority, first of all, send them to school. Because most times, when you send them to go and learn a skill, is that they will meet a mentor that can help you to train them very well. That's why Igbos are better off today, because we know what is called Igba boy, going to learn from apprenticeship. They were going to learn a skill from someone. During those 3-4 years of mentorship from a boss, they have to reshape them very well. They have to build them. To the area you have actually made a mistake as a parent, train those child. Those mentors have to bring out the best inside of them, train them very. They come out with strong morals, sense of morals, of character, and all that. And that made it to become more productive and useful to the society. Do you know, today, as I'm talking to you, most CEOs prefer working with people who are not well educated than most of them went to university and come back. You can see today, most of them went to polytechnics or some kind of education are even getting job more faster than those of them went to school, that went to universities, that come out BScs. Most CEOs now prefer employing a graduate with HND or OND more than a graduate that have MSc or BSc. Go ask very well. Because most of them come out with pride, arrogant, and some kind of sort of illicit acts, or kind of ignorant and all that. So priority is you knowing very well as a parent that the economy of the country is no longer the way it ought to be. The cost of living is actually getting high every day. If you're earning 150,000 salary, 200,000 salary, 300,000 salary, or 400,000 salary, and you have 5 children that you're training, look at it very well now. Calculate their feedings and all the expenses every blessed day, multiply by 30 days, and then know how much you need to pay their school fees and know how much are left for you to manage yourself. Please, parents should be pity yourselves. You are a human being too. It's all about placing your priority right, not that things are hard. It's all about most of us are placing our priority so high, and our resources are not even enough to meet up to our expectations and our priorities. So I believe the economy of the country can be better if our parents can place their priority right. And that what I mean, they can learn skills. Let their children learn skills after the secondary school. They can, even if maybe you are assisting them, they can also contribute to their own self, to their academics, their studies, after they might have learned skills. That's the best way to train a child currently. And not only that, putting them under mentorship, training them, letting them undergoing some skill acquisition, help them to meet with mentors that can train them, that can help to reshape them very, very, to shape them very, very well. Did you understand at all? Most of the Igbos are doing well today not because of the training their parents gave to them, but because of the training their mentors gave to them. That's Igba boy. And on the process, they train them characters, they train them manner, they train them so many things. How to master challenges and all of that. And they have helped them to be able to solve their problem on their own and be able to master with any challenge. And that's why Igbos today will always be ahead of other ethnic groups in the country because of that particular mentality. If you read a book called, the Torah, we talk about, the secret of Jewish wisdom. That's the power of apprenticeship. And that's why the Jews are still succeeding today, irrespective of the opposition they have on the whole world, in the whole world. Are we following at all? Very, very important. Very, very important. Are we following at all? So that is my own take. And if I should suggest, currently I'm an MLM company. We have big MLM company in the world. In fact, if Nigeria can be able to support MLM company in this country today, there will be no unemployment. Most of the MLM company in Nigeria today can be able to take care of the economic condition of this country. They can solve unemployment. They can be employing all the graduates from various institutions every blessed year, and all of them, after some length of months or weeks or years of training, they can actually become financially independent, because this particular industry, MLM industry, have instituted some mentorship processes through which they build their partners. And that is a very and not only building them, they also help to establish them to become independent. And that's a suggestion. Maybe if you care about that, about MLM company, you can always inbox me. I will give more details about that. I think I'm a mentor in that industry, and of course it's very wonderful. Very, very wonderful. So parents, this is actually majorly for you. And you young guy out there, young girl out there, please help yourselves, learn the skills, assist your parents. The economy is not friendly, and actually because of some high cost of living and all of that. I give him about at all. So this video is actually for parents. As you can see, the way I did my video, it touches everyone. I'm not a content creator. I have a business I'm doing. My industry is bigger than Facebook. So my interest is actually for you, a listener, the listeners, or you listener, wherever you are listening from. The parents, please set your priority right. You out there, look for one skill to learn. If you care about a organization to work with, you can always inbox me. I'm here to mentor you and guide you on the path to achieving success. And that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for listening to me, and God bless you. Do have a wonderful day ahead. Thanks.